What's up, everybody? Matt Malatesta here with none other than Dom Daste, head coach of the Eastside Catholic Superpower in Seattle. Coach, another big win. Another big one. We're not surprised. Talk about, what you really like, what y'all did against Seattle Prep this week. Offense, defense, a lopsided game, 41-9. Were you able to get some of your guys that don't get a lot of time in? How did it play out?
Yeah, I mean, I think we approached the game from, it was kind of nice. The last couple of weeks, we been playing some teams that maybe weren't prepared as we're usually accustomed to. So Seattle Prep always does a nice job. Coach Mull and his group, they're well coached and all those kinds of things. And so they give us some issues in terms of structure and how they play and what they do. And so it was nice to go out and execute and some things like that. And and be able to move the ball effectively and those things. So we were excited to, excuse me, to go out and play well in all facets of the game. Obviously, things we need to clean up. A little bit of the kickoffs team needs to get cleaned up. We had a turnover, and penalties are still an issue with us, but we'll keep working through
them. Caden Pilley seems like he's kind of one of your stars.
100%.
I mean, he kind of does it all on both sides of the ball. Just talk about what he's meant as a senior leader for y'all.
Yeah, so Caden's in a little bit of a unique story. He moved here in July from Alaska. Last year, he was the Gatorade Player of the Year in Alaska. His family moved to the Seattle area. He was actually neighbors with one of our families that moved down a couple of years ago. And so they were familiar with our school and stuff. And so his brother plays for the Seahawks. That's why his family moved down here. His sister plays for the Minnesota Lynx, I believe. And so obviously it's a pretty athletic family. But he's a special dude. He does a lot for us. He plays Sam. He plays quarterback. He plays running back. Plays the slot for us. And so I think it's always most impressive that obviously we have a lot of kids who are physically talented, but to grasp all that stuff mentally and do it effectively with correct technique and all that kind of stuff is hard. And so he's definitely been a huge asset for us, and he makes us look like we know what we're doing.
That is a wildly athletic family. And I wonder what, like, the Gatorade Player of the Year in Alaska. I mean, that's a massive state. I'm not sure there's any football players up there, but he must be one of them. That's a wild story.
Yeah.
Of you, he kind of landed on your doorstep.
Yeah. And so one of our current families who go to school here, their family moved down from Alaska a few years ago. And so they knew that family, and so Dash Lamble is on our team. His older brother played for us, and so they kind of came and started inquiring, and it all kind of worked out.
Okay, so up next, Rainier Beach. Yeah. Now, Rainier, I'm sure.
They're not close to Mount Rainier, but yeah, they're in the city of Seattle, and so they'll be a tough opponent. They're extremely athletic, and so their group can move and make up for some a misstep or whatever with their athleticism and stuff. So it'll be a tough challenge. I think they are ranked in the top 10 in 3A football here, and so it'll be a formidable challenge, and they'll do a good job, and so we're excited for the challenge.
So then that's it. That's the end of the regular season. I mean, it just goes like that. Isn't it crazy? Yeah. Then it really turns into a win or go home situation.
Correct.
How are y'all approaching the postseason? Is it just like that? Is it, hey, we're going to start seeing really top caliber teams coming up? How do you approach the postseason? Are you healthy going into the postseason?
So we're a little banged up. We're trying to get over some bumps and bruises and stuff. And so I think I said this last week, the flu is ripping through our school, probably like it is most of the country. And so we've had a bunch of kids who've been out Ben Noem, our left tackle, last week played uh, with a pretty bad flu, and so he powered through that, which I was proud of him for. And so we have some other kids in that situation right now. We're just trying to get healthy, just from a sickness standpoint. But as we approach the playoffs, hopefully, if we get a win this weekend, we'll have a bye next week, which my kids are very excited about for Halloween. Um, and so we'll kind of work through that. But the goal is always the same, just to get better each week. We know we're far from a finished product, and we have a lot of things to correct. And so we'll kind of take inventory of what we've been doing and how we've been doing it, in terms of a self scout, and evaluate everything from top to bottom, and kind of just start from ground zero a little bit in terms of how we approach the playoffs.
Every year, your team has probably a personality, right? What
Mm-hmm.
did you say? What would you say this year's personality is?
I think they truly care about each other. Our seniors have done a really good job in terms of taking care of the incoming guys, and working through some of the issues we've had, and just being mature about how we handle each week. Right. And I think they love each other, and truly enjoy being on the field together. And so that carries over, I think, to how you play, and how being unselfish on the football field, and stuff like that. So I admire it. I would sit here and lie to you and say every senior group, or every um, team was a dream come true in terms of personalities and stuff. Some are tougher than others, based on the year, but I really enjoy coaching this group. I really enjoy being around this group, in terms of personality, and how they approach the game.
It seems like just getting to know you over the past couple of months that you probably believe in like your best teams are player-led teams.
Mhm.
Is that be kind of your philosophy as well? That you don't have to kind of pry these kids or drag them to practice, but more, just player-led leadership.
Yeah, I think anytime you can have that quality amongst your football team, right? When some of your best players are your best leaders, right, or your hardest workers, when they lead by example, that always helps, right? And so when those guys are leading, and leading from the front and pushing from behind, right, it helps. And so there's less things that I have to bear down on in terms of whatever it is, right? And they kind of handle some of the misdemeanors, as we say, and when we're self patrolled, and stuff like that, it does help, right? And you at least have a group that's mindful and keep each other accountable.
All right, coach, go get him this week.
Yeah,
Rainier
thank you.
Beach, the Eastside Catholic Crusaders looking to go 8-1 on the season. And then boom, right in the playoffs. Take some Tylenol, get those guys healthy,
Yeah.
Advil, and the flu goes around. You're right. It can just go right through a team and it changes the complexion of what the week looks like. Not that you need any more stress on your life, you know what I'm saying?
No, I live in a petri dish, right? This school and these kids are. I don't know if hygiene's always at the top of their priority,
You're
but
right.
so I rub shoulders with them and elbows, and so I feel like I'm just on a ticking clock right now in terms of when it hits me.
Right. All right. Coach Dom Daste, Eastside Catholic, the Crusaders again going for another brilliant season until or as they get prepared for the playoffs. This is Matt with VYPE. We'll see y'all at the games. Get out to the game this weekend.
Appreciate you, Matt.